Have you considered moving to an area where everyone else is moving to in Raleigh, North Carolina? In this video, we're going to take a closer look at some of the most overcrowded areas in Raleigh. However, if you did not know, the population for the metro of Raleigh was sitting at about 1.5 million for the up until the year of 2023. Now, I could honestly say, just based off of the numbers and how things are going and how many people are moving here regularly, I could imagine that number exceeding or at least being in that 1.6 million towards the end of 2024. But shockingly enough, there's enough places out there, towns, cities, suburbs, that are losing people on a regular basis. I mean, who's going to stay in an area that is just sucks to live in? It's terrible to raise a family. Finding other jobs or other opportunities is difficult. Buying real estate in that specific area is just not advantageous. And maybe it's not a place where you would actually like to retire. If you're living in one of those areas that I would call it's on the sorry list, I encourage you to really think about relocating or even giving me a call if you want to move to a better area. Now, before we get right into this video, I do want to note this is not purely my opinion. We're going to use data and look at the information that is provided to us by these sources to determine which are the most crowded areas where a lot of people are moving to. However, if you're new to me and this YouTube channel, we talk about everything you need to know about Raleigh, North Carolina. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out. But also, like I mentioned earlier, if you're looking to move to a better area, I am a licensed realtor here, so reach out to me if you need any assistance with your relocation or you just have simple questions that you need to ask and need to get a better understanding of what Raleigh is all about. So without further ado, Raleigh, North Carolina, it's known for, in my opinion, its vibrant culture, booming economy. I mean, there's new construction going on all the time. And it's a city that it continues to attract residents, visitors. But as you may know, with growth, there are going to be challenges. And sometimes that can make things a bit more challenging to navigate the area. So before we compare specific areas, suburbs, zip codes, let's look at North Carolina as a whole. So let's go ahead and take a look at North Carolina. If you are interested in their stats and anything of that nature, go ahead and pause and look at the overview really quickly. And one thing I do want to point out though is Wake County, that is the largest county. That is where Raleigh really sits. So Charlotte being its own separate place, as you can see, it's the largest city. As I mentioned to a lot of you guys that give me calls, you know, we're always making the comparison between Raleigh and Charlotte. Honestly, if you're looking for a bigger city, as it says right here, Charlotte is where to go. My personal opinion. I'm not here to steer you in any sort of direction, but if you need a city feel, Charlotte already has everything. So you can't really, you know, push down what Charlotte has to offer because it is pretty remarkable. But let's look at the certain zip codes here by population size. And this is where we really start to look at North Carolina as a whole. One thing I could definitely mention, there's a few of them here that are in that Raleigh area. I know this one isn't. This is, I believe, Greensboro. But if you look at whichever one has 27 to it, that's going to be in the Raleigh area. I know this is Raleigh. The first one is, which is pretty remarkable. And then this one, I believe, is Wake Forest. Don't quote me. But just wanted to kind of show you guys this. Again, most of them that have the 27 in front of them are going to be Raleigh or at least closer to Raleigh. However, let's go ahead and take a look at cities now. Again, Charlotte, again, holds the crown. It already states that it's the largest city. So you can't really knock that out. But Raleigh comes right behind it. Will Raleigh ever catch Charlotte? Probably not. But we shall see, right? And then we can go ahead and look at the county. So again, Wake County being the largest, of course, it should hold more people. But with all that being said, I didn't want to really stay here too much longer. You know, one thing I could definitely say is I'm very shocked to see Johnston County is pretty low. Because I can see Johnston County as being a very up-and-coming area, at least closer to that Wake County. Cumberland County is a bit further out, so you know, I can't really foresee so much happening there. Johnston County will receive way more rewards and incentives before Cumberland, of course, Durham. Cumberland County is bigger than Durham. Interesting. In terms of population size, right? Yep. That is very, very interesting. So I can actually see this here, Durham County, growing tremendously because of Wake County, of course. And something that I'll point out, because again, I'm talking about counties, thinking that you guys know exactly what is where. So, Wake County, that's the Raleigh area. Mecklenburg, that's Charlotte. Gulfport, I don't know where that is, to be honest. I don't know what this is, to be honest. This is Fayetteville. This is Durham. Some of these I just honestly don't know. Here, that will be in like your Clayton, towards the Clayton area. So, you know, you kind of have, you're a mix of everywhere. So depending on which county you're really looking at is going to really determine what exactly you're going to cater to or want to know more information about. So if you have any idea of where you would like to be, or in at least a place that you have in mind, you just need additional information, you see that number that is popping up right there, make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends, and share with me a few things about what it is that you're looking to do, where you're looking to go, so we can go ahead and set up a Zoom consultation and be able to speak in depth about that and be able to give you the information that you may be missing out on. However, moving along this video, we're going to get a little bit more specific now. We're going to really focus a little bit more on that Raleigh area. So if you were really looking to find out where is the hotspot in Raleigh, where is everyone moving to for whatever reason, this is when you're going to really want to tune in. So as we're going to go ahead and take a look at the zip codes with the highest population in Raleigh, as I mentioned, we're going to get a little bit more narrow so you can now pay a little bit more attention of these specific areas. Here's the map of just the zip codes in Raleigh. Again, if you're interested in other areas like Cary, Apex, Mooresville, Holly Springs, Gardner, Clayton, Nightdale, you know, you could definitely look into this website specifically, or just reach out to me and we can have another conversation on that. However, if we take a look at the zip codes, so this is 27610 is going to be right over here. Again, I think most of these areas that have like this one, I could imagine this being pretty high on the list because of the size of it, right? That's a big factor. Many individuals, I know a lot of new constructions going on in this area right now, but I'm very surprised that this area didn't have top 10 just quite yet. Let's see, actually, let's go ahead and continue to look through that list to see myself, right? So we have 61616. So that's another, I could definitely say, a popular one, which is going to be over here, closer to that Wake Forest area, right? The next one, and I'm not going to go through all of them, honestly, but you guys could definitely do this. Make sure to leave this website here in the description so you guys go ahead and check it out. But 603, that's going to be closer to your downtown. Where exactly? I just had it. There it is. So this is that area that I mentioned that extends pretty far out, and this is just kind of unfair because again, it starts from like downtown and it extends out. So I don't really like the fact that this extends out because this is an entirely different area than what you get up here. So you get what you get, all right? But that's kind of the zip codes. You know, I will say here, this was the top one, right? You're going to really be closer with, I would not necessarily closer to, but that Clayton area right there. But you're going to have more of like new developments, I would say, going on there at the moment. Again, a lot of new developments are going on here. It's really all on this side. I wish they would have showed you Wendell and Zebulon, but because new construction is going on over here, it's primarily going on all on this side for the most part, right now. And then of course there was 27, I believe it was 616. That's like your North Raleigh area. As you guys know, a lot of people are moving to North Raleigh for several different reasons. So it's one of those highly desirable areas for whatever reason. I will say, well developed. You have everything that you possibly may need. It's just it's moving ready essentially. Maybe not the home is going to be moving ready, but the area is already there. If anything, they're adding more incentives, amenities, so things for people to do. And then the last but not least is, again, this one I kind of discussed it already, where here you're kind of in that downtown area. But when you start to stretch out here, this is when you start, this is where I can kind of see it be a little bit problematic for that individuals that want to be closer or at least in the mix or at least in with the amenities that Raleigh has to give. And I'll go ahead and share a story with you guys at this point because I've been able to, you know, just kind of see the growth of Raleigh in itself. And one thing that I would definitely mention is, again, kind of going back to looking at that zip code, was it 27603? That is very swayed in a whole nother direction. It's one of the third largest high population. And it's because of its size, when it gives us two different feels of it entirely. And honestly, just being here in 2018, I've been part of the growth rather than seeing what the growth really looks like, and I can only really speak onwards from there. So those individuals that are like, leaving the area, or at least leaving certain zip codes to go to other ones for whatever reason, I could understand it. It's because things are quite changing really quickly, and I think things are going to get a little bit more denser, and some individuals just do not want that. So if you're not really looking for that, maybe you stay away from those top 3 zip codes for whatever reason. But I will actually go ahead and share with you guys another stat, which is going to really show you guys which areas has a high population density. So we checked out, so going on to this now, we checked out which zip codes had the highest population. Now we're going to check out the highest population density. Again, still focusing just on Raleigh. If you want questions about other areas, just reach out. And this zip code I have never seen before, so I don't even know where that is, and we're actually going to figure this out all together. Okay, that makes sense. This is where NC State is. Okay, so that's not fair, but we won't even count that because of course it's going to be highly populated. It's a whole college here with campuses and rooms. I don't know why this is even included in there, but we have 605, 601, and 608. 605, 608, I don't know. I know 605 is right over here. And I hope this is helpful for you guys to really be able to put a visual to it so you guys know exactly what you're really looking at. Again, you're closer to that downtown Raleigh area if you're in that 605 area, which is a highly densible area. High population density. I don't even know if densible is a word, to be honest with you. And then we had 608, which is right above it. This would be, okay, this is still closer to that downtown. Of course, you have North Hills right above it. Crabtree, which is where the mall is. So honestly, I'm going to tell you, it really seems like the downtown area, yep, in 601, which is the downtown area, at least relatively close. Seems like, of course, downtown area is going to hold the crown with which areas are the highest population density, which makes sense. I mean, being downtown, you should expect to have a lot of less land, honestly, here in North Carolina too. A lot of less land. They're going to have a lot of apartments. That's exactly what they're building. I see apartment complexes going up consistently on a regular basis. It's kind of disturbing, but I mean, it is what it is. This is what Raleigh is identifying that is what is needed. So you're seeing a lot of apartment complex. You're going to have single family homes in those specific areas. I will say those are, you're going to get a lot of older. It's not modernized, I would say. It's more of historic. So definitely keep that in mind. As Raleigh continues to grow and evolve, there's going to be solutions along the way to help mitigate with the population size, the population density. I will say the downtown Raleigh area, you can expect those areas to be with high density for many different reasons. That's where a lot of people are going to be maybe even traveling for work. There's things to do, a lot of things to do in those specific areas. So you can expect that if that's not what you want, then look on the outskirts of it. There's plenty of other areas, even if you want to extend outside of Raleigh and still have accessibility to it. You have Cary, Apex, Mooresville, Gardner, Knightdale. I mean, the list goes on and on of areas that you can even consider. But I will say, expect a little bit of pain with the population size growing relatively quickly, because my personal opinion, from 2018 to now, I've been seeing Raleigh be behind the 8 ball for quite some time. But just as much as I enjoy making these videos for you guys, my name is Roney Polynice, and I am a licensed realtor here in North Carolina. And we'll love nothing more but the opportunity to assist you with your relocation needs. So you see that number there is popping up right there. Make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. Always remember one thing: I got your back in this market.